What's up, everybody? So today's video request: how a simple life is better than a bad life. Well, yes. See, like me, like I said plenty of times, I like, you know, I don't care to have all these gaudy things. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have nice things. I can't say it's not. But, however, if I have a roof over my head, if I have food in my refrigerator, if I have like just little things like that, I'm thankful. I'm happy. There's people that are starving in the streets. There's people that are homeless, have nowhere to stay, no roof over their head. And this is why life is not fair. This is what makes life suck, because you need money for every little fucking thing. It's like you have no freedom. You have no freedom. But anyway, let's get on into that topic. There's just so many things that can go wrong. Even the happiest person in life can just turn depressed or unhappy. Well, I guess that kind of means the same thing, but there's just, life just has so many issues, man. You got health problems, financial problems. It's just a lot of things can just go wrong for people. It's just, it's just a lot of dark things in life. It's funny when people say all the time, just like not too long ago, someone says, "I'm dark." Call me what you want. I'm just telling you how what we live in is. That's all I'm saying. I don't make these videos to make anyone feel depressed. And if that's the case, stop watching. But then again, I don't see how I'm making videos like that. I'm not. I'm just trying to, make people feel less alone. There's so many of us that think this way, but just maybe nervous to go out and say it because people look at them like, you're weird, you're this, you're whatever the hell. Well, the truth is, there's nothing really wrong with us. It's just we see for what it is. We see it as something just not right. I seen it at a very young age. Now, with that being said, with me seeing it at a very young age, I ain't see it 100%, but I just always sensed something just seemed off. And it's true. And it just gets worse and worse. I just wish things would get better. We have technology, we have, all this shit, and it's like we don't strive in a good direction. We just strive in a harder, more complicated direction. It's like things just get more complicated instead of easier. We have all this technology that helps us. We have things, when you go for surgery, this plastic surgery, there's certain things that we couldn't do 50 years ago that we can do now. Someone's born a certain way with their ear like this, or, I'm not trying to make fun of people like that, but they have things today, they have technology today where they could try and make it normal. Where back then in the days, there was nothing you can do. Now we have technology, we're evolving, we have technology that does a lot for us, but it's like, why can't we just strive in a good future? It's like the future is so dark. At least that's how I look at it as. It's just a dark future. Everything's becoming more expensive. I mean, it's getting harder and harder. Life was always hard, but now it's just worse and worse. It's depressing. The truth is, the world we live in is depressing. There's just nothing good I could say about it. I'd love to say some good things about life, but I can't. I'd love to. I wish I can. But how? When there's really nothing good here to say. It's just survival. We're just trying to survive. A life we didn't ask for, and now we're here, and we're just trying to make ends meet. That's all it is. That's all life is. There's nothing more spectacular to it than that. That's all it is. We're just trying to get by. We're just trying to keep our head above water. We're trying not to drown, man. We're trying not to drown. Or we're trying to hold on to the monkey bar without slipping off. However you want to say it. But that's what basically life itself is. We're just trying to stay strong. Some of us succeed, some of us don't. Some of us don't have the strength. Everyone has different strength. You know? I just wish life was easy, where we could just do what we want to do, enjoy life, be happy, things that interest us, go for it, instead of being forced to do things just for this. This is all we're doing. We're looking for something because it has to do with this. This is what we this is what we think about, It's like, is this all life is? Obviously, yeah. There could be so much more to life, but we just look at it as this. I don't care to have Bugattis. I don't care to have a Lamborghini. Would it be nice to have one? I can't say it wouldn't, but at the same time, I don't care. I just want something that drives, something that gets me to where I gotta go. Want to live somewhere where I'm protected from the elements outside, where I'm not gonna freeze, where I'm not gonna die in heat, or rained on and snowed on. Well, it barely snows here anymore, but you get what I'm trying to say. That's all I just ask for, just a simple, basic life. And it's like we can't even get that. You got to pay for every little thing. You got to pay just to breathe. You got poor people that do nothing with themselves, and yet they're still going through hell with money because they got to pay to live somewhere. You got people that are skipping meals. You got people that aren't eating, or skipping meals to try and save on food because food is skyrocketing high. We're paying for things that we need. That should be stuff we should get regardless. Whether we have the money, whether we don't, that's something we desperately need. We need to eat. We need to eat. It's disgusting. It's just such a disgusting existence. And for someone to think otherwise, I don't know. I gotta say, you're disgusting then. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because it's just the truth. To think otherwise, that you're just as disgusting as society is. That's what makes society even more disgusting. Having ignorant, stupid people that defend the system and just keep procreating, is what I meant to say, procreating, and just keeping the system going. No matter how many times we say these type of things, I know it's not going to change anything, but it's just something I just love to say because it's just so true, man. It's just such a shithole. But I'm dark. I'm dark, man. So be it. I'm dark then, whatever. I'm sorry that I'm dark. I'm sorry that I can't stand it here on Earth. But it is what it is. It's just how I am. I just don't care for this shit. I just can't wait till it's over. Call me dark, call me negative, I don't care. It's the truth, though. It's just how I feel, But with that being said, I'm not saying I'm going to give up. I'm not saying for anyone here to give up. But with that also being said, if I were to die tonight, I wouldn't care two shits. I wouldn't care. I'd probably be happy out of this shit, That's just the cold truth. No, I don't want to die yet. There's so much to live for. Like paying bills for another God knows how many more decades. Working for God knows how many more decades. Paying more and more for God knows how many more decades. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't want to die. I'm too young to die, man. I got a whole beautiful future ahead of me of paying fees. Oh, yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, think how stupid I sound. Because it is stupid. It is fucking stupid. There ain't nothing to live for. We're just here trying to survive. In the end, when we're no longer going to be here. When in the end, you're surviving, one day is going to come to an end regardless. So whether you're staying above water or not, eventually the water's going to, you're going to die. You're going to die. There's no stopping death. There's no stopping death. It's going to hit you some way or another. Someday, some way. It's coming for you. It's coming for all of us. It could come for me now. I don't care. The sooner the better. That's how I look at it. Well, you're being negative, man. Well, so be it. It's just how I feel. I don't care about this society. I'm just here because I'm here. I'm just trying to make the best of it. I'm not saying I'm going to off myself or suggest anyone else here to do it, but I'm just saying if I were to, die tomorrow or whatever, I'd be thankful. Because now I don't got to deal with this shit anymore. You know, that's all I'm saying there. It may sound dark, and maybe it is dark, who knows, but hey, I'm just honest. That's all, I'm just honest. People be like, you have goals, you know, you have dreams. Me, really? I don't really have any of that. My goal is to just have it as simple as basic until the very end. I just want to be as comfortable as possible until I stop breathing, whenever that is. Whenever the hell that is. I don't care to conquer this. I don't care to achieve this. The only thing I just care for is to just have a simple, easy, basic life. That's all I want. I don't bother nobody. I don't pick on nobody. I just want to be to myself. And a lot of people are like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people criticize people like that, like, don't you want a girlfriend? Don't you want this? And not everyone does. Everyone's different. If someone doesn't bother you, leave them the hell alone. Some people just don't want to be bothered, and that's kind of how I feel. I just don't want to be bothered. I just want a simple, basic, leave me the hell alone life. You know, it's not saying that I'm not trying to say I'm antisocial. I do like having friends, but it's just, I don't care to achieve certain things. I mean, if somebody has something they want to achieve, yeah, go for it. I'm not saying don't. Me, the only thing I just care for is to just have a simple, easy, basic fucking life, man. That's all I asked. That's all I really ever asked. I'm sure that's what half of us asked. I want to be healthy. I don't want problems. You know, life is full of problems. I don't need more problems added to it. Because life is already a problem. This whole existence itself is already a problem. And I don't want any more fuel to the fire. The fire is already burning, man. I already feel the flames. I don't need it to add more to it. You know, I mean, all kidding aside, bro. It's disgusting how we look at each other for what we have, for who we are, for what race we are, instead of what's in the inside. It's who, you know, we look at each other as, how can I put it to this? He's got money, be his friend, or, you know, he's a guy you want to be with. He's got money, but if he looks a certain way, if he's a certain race, or he's, you know, not what you hope he to be, he's a piece of shit then. He's no good. He's a pile of trash. Being nice means nothing. This is what means everything. You could be a prick, but as long as you have this, he's a catch. You know, that's how it is. The things that are so overrated is how we look, you know, appearance and money. It's all about features and money. It's how it's always been. Who cares what's in the inside? It's the outside that matters, man, when it should be the other way around, of course. But, of course, yeah, we don't look at it that way a lot of times. No. It's just a very disgusting way we live. And by me describing all of this into these videos, you're going to get some idiot that's going to say you're just dark. Well, whatever. Call me what you want. I'm just saying it for how it is. So take it how you want, I guess is all I could say, you know. But probably going to cut it there, guys. I was actually thinking of wanting to make other type of content too. Not saying that I'm not going to do this type of content, but I was thinking of changing it up a bit too, to make it more, you know, like try to make some more funny videos. But I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I was thinking of a few things like funny ASMR or like funny food videos and shit like that. I mean, I don't know, but maybe you guys could give me an idea and maybe I'll possibly listen. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I'm just thinking of, you know, changing it up a bit, just, you know, just to make people laugh. That's one thing I love to do is make people laugh, especially people that are really down in life. I like to put a smile on the face, you know. That's just one thing I always like to do. But, you know, I'm just trying to think of other type of videos I can make besides always talking about this stuff, you know. Because after a while, it's like, it's true. You say the same shit over and over. It's like, what else do you say? You know, it's true. Life sucks. But how many times am I going to say it, you know? We live in a dump, absolutely. But how many times am I going to say it? We shouldn't have kids. But with that being said so many times, morons are still going to keep doing it. So it's like to the point where how many times am I going to repeat myself? You know what I mean? It's just, it gets to the point where I felt like I said everything that was on my chest and pretty much everything that needed to be said. But it's like, after a while, you feel like I just repeat it over and over and over. And it's true, I know, I do. Like, I don't know what else to talk about. And that's sometimes why I don't make videos, because I don't know what else to say. You know, it's just, it gets to the point where I don't know what else to do. But I don't want to stop making videos. That's why I want to try and change it up a bit. So if anyone could help me out, maybe give me some ideas, I'd appreciate that, you know. And of course, I would always still, time to time, come back to these topics. I mean, these are topics that always got to be talked about. But with that also being said, I like to, you know, change things up a little bit to make it less, you know, stale, like life. We all know life is stale, right? But anyway, guys, I am going to wrap it up for now. Love you all, man. Take it easy. And yeah, you know, it's about it. Peace out.